I want to thank everybody for coming out today. We have a new format for the Senior League World Series. Little League has requested that we go to a modified double elimination, and because of that, we no longer have pool play. When we had pool play, it was relatively simple to put the teams in two pools and play the games, but with the double elimination, we thought it might be a little bit fairer and more interesting to do a draw for those games, and that's what we're going to do right now. Just a couple other quick notes. As everyone knows, the District 3 champion will represent Maine District 3. That tournament will be held at the end of July prior to the World Series. The other U.S. regionals all start around July 22nd as well. The international teams will start play in the first part of July. We're excited to do this and hope that this format will prove to be exciting for all. The other note that I wanted to make sure people were aware of is that on Friday, prior to the championship game on Saturday, is now a day that we don't have regular games scheduled. So we will be reinstituting the bracket all-star game. We'll take players from the 4 teams not playing in the championship game on Saturday and divvy them up into 2 all-star squads, and those kids will play an extra game. We found in years previous when we did that before we were televised that it really was a great concept for the kids because they got to play with other kids from all over the world and all over the U.S. They seem to enjoy it. That will be on Friday. I believe we're going to start that game at 1:30 or 2. Friday morning, for the first time ever, we will have a Major League Baseball showcase here at the World Series. Major League Baseball Scouting Bureau will be sending 3 scouts here. Each team in the World Series will be able to nominate 5 players to participate in that showcase. And this is a way for some of those kids to perhaps enhance their stature, their reputation, and just be seen by the Major League Scouting Bureau. So that's going to be a real interesting thing to do this year, and we're looking forward to it. So, without further ado, we're going to do the draw. The way that the draw will be done is Game 5 on the top is actually a first round bye. That bye team will be drawn first. Then the bye team over there in Game 6 in bracket B will be drawn. We'll then draw the first team for Game 1, then the first team for Game 3, Game 1, 3, 2, 4, so forth. So we're going to go back and forth and try to create a little bit of drama here. We have a couple young men who were on last year's team who are actually going to be drawing the baseballs out. Mr. Jesse Colford and Mr. Nick Copperthwaite. The baseballs are all in here. They're Spalding baseballs. We've written the regions on them. We've actually covered up the baseballs with a little tissue paper so they can't see what's written on them. So we hope it's going to kind of be exciting. So, let me spin it a little bit. Spin the wheel. Turn it. Pull one out, Jesse. Go ahead. Rip it off. Trash can's right there. And the first team with a bye is Southeast. Southeast. Wait a second, I gotta spin. Oh, back up. Spin it some more. The second team with a bye will be Maine. Attaboy. Who was that, Nick or Jesse? That was Nick. All right. In the first game of the tournament, we'll have the West. You'll be happy to be playing early in the morning. And oh, no, not their opponent yet. We're going to go over to game 3. And that will be Europe, Africa. Let's see, the opponent for the West in game 1 of the tournament will be Southwest. Ooh, that's a big game right off the stop, right off the start. That's a huge game. The opponent for Europe, Africa in game 3 of the tournament will be Asia Pacific. I think we're seeing which bracket may be tougher.
Yeah.
Wow.
Should have done that good the last few years.
In game 2, the East.
This is just like Christmas.
Over to game 4 in bracket B. Central. Two left, Jesse. The East will play Latin America, which means the final team is going to have to be Canada. I'm awful glad this was on film. This will be the format that we will follow the next 5 years and on, as long as we have the World Series. The one difference next year that we will do is that the Southeast and Maine will be kept out of the drum for the first 2 picks, so that they will not get buys 2 years in a row. After the first 2 picks, they go into the drum. Then in year 3, the 4 teams with buys until we establish a 5-year rotation. So that way the rotation will stay the same after 5 years as to which regions have the buys. So as we can see, certainly bracket A appears to be a pretty tough bracket. The one thing about this format is if you do lose 2, you are eliminated. Historically in the World Series, we've only had 1 team lose their first 2 and then come back to win the World Series. That was Cartersville, Georgia in 2007. I was going to say 6-7, I believe. So if you do lose your first 2, you're not in good shape. But this year, if you do lose them, you're in trouble. So that is the bracket. We will have the bracket board mounted up on the stadium wall. We'll be updating that throughout the World Series, so everybody can see where we are. And that's basically what I had today, and if anybody has any questions, we can try to answer them.
I will accept.